folks. Thanks for joining me. I'm so excited to be joined by On Purpose 86400, Susan Richlak. Is a chamber member of ours, and I'm just going to be totally transparent and put it out there. She is my sister. So welcome, Susan.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So you joined the chamber recently and also started your business recently. Let's start with what On Purpose is. And I'm sure everybody's like 86400. What?
Right. On Purpose 86400 is a women's resource network offering personal development workshops and reminding women, and really men too, to live their life intentionally all 86,400 seconds of every day. And I think no better time than right now to be learning that lesson.
Yeah, I think we have learned, or we feel like we're living literally 86,400 seconds every day.
Every second has 86,400 seconds.
Yeah, but I do feel like everybody has stopped and paused and taken some reflection and reevaluation in their lives, and that's really basically what your mission is to teach that and make sure that it continues throughout your life.
I think we all know we need to be doing these things, and I always call it kind of crisis clarity, and this is the perfect example. These big things happen, and all of a sudden we're forced, or we take the time to think about what are the things that are most important. But then when things change and we go back, we just slowly go right back into what we had been doing, and we forget about the things that are most important. So that was where I wanted On Purpose 86400 to kind of fill that gap and be a fun experience where women can learn and grow, and it's fun, so they want to keep going to the events and keeping the growth going.
I will say, I was talking to somebody and like this time you reevaluate everything, including like the people around you, because there's people reacting and behaving. Like I want to be, at the end of this, I want to hang out with the people who I always say are left in my dryer. Like all the bad things came out in the wash, and the people that are left in my dryer are the people I want to hang with, because, like the first week, everybody was super in love with each other. And then as the weeks went by, the people that were always the not so nice people, that came back up again, so you reevaluate everything in your life. And now that the governor is kind of starting to really talk about coming out of this, now I think people are like, oh my gosh, I only have 2 more weeks to.
Yeah, get your stuff going. Yeah, I talk about the example of like cleaning out a drawer or a closet when you are bold enough to literally take everything out, that front hall closet where you're trying to shove everything in just to close the door. When you take it all out, even when you organize it, you probably don't put everything back in. You look at it, you try some things on. Do I still like this? Does it fit? And that's the same thing we should really be doing with our lives and all aspects of our lives, our personal development, our financial awareness, our spirituality and community, our relationships and connections in our family and our home. We really should be looking at all of that. And when the floodgates open back up, we should put things back intentionally and really create the life we've always wanted to have.
Yeah. So you are a attorney by day, a probate attorney by day. I always wanted to start this business. You have you are the owner of your own law firm. And then you wanted to start this, and you started it in a pandemic year. Well, you actually, was the first one end of last year, or was it this year?
They were both this year. So
Okay.
January, and thankfully we got the February one in, because really that was kind of sort of the start of it.
Mhm.
And then, now here we are.
Yeah. So what is it like having to pivot so quickly? Your business is very focused on gathering together and sharing and meeting together. It's not it really wasn't a virtual plan. How have you been able to kind of pivot a little bit and be able to be, keep on the minds of people during this time?
Two things. One, even though our primary focus is providing the personal development workshops, I always say it's also tips and inspiration. And we try to do that with the posts that we put out on Instagram and Facebook. We have a fun one today that is a fun screen grab. So I've got some scrolling inspirational sayings, and you can do a little screen grab and pick one that will be your mantra for the weekend. So we're trying to do that. I really feel so connected to the events, and when we do the workshops, really making them an experience. We have raffles, people bring their friends. We have fun little tchotchke things throughout the event. So it's really hard in my mind to do that in a virtual world. We did put our values workshop, which was the last one that we did. I did create an online at-home version of that, so you can go to our website. I know you'll put it up down below.
You know me so well.
So you can go on and register for that, and then I will send you the materials for that. You can do that either individually, or I also drafted up instructions to do that as a family activity. And as we said at that workshop, I really think, and this is a good example of when you're living in alignment with the things that are important to you, that's kind of the tree roots that can keep you grounded when everything else around you is madness. So doing that exercise, I think, is a insightful thing. You were at that event. I think people were really struck by the process of really taking this deck of cards that has 56 values and trying to narrow it down to 5 or 6 of the most important. We had I think there were some emotions going on during that event as people probably thought about this maybe for the first time ever. And then there was the opposite end of the spectrum, the people who had all the cards on the table and just could not narrow it down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of a fun event to do if anybody wants to do that. And then I'm also just working on a lot of content right now for some upcoming events that I hope we'll be able to get back to. We have an event planned for July that is more kind of a day of reflection and a charitable event with a foundation called Donna's Christmas Trees. So I'm hoping we get back to that. So I've been drafting some content for that. And then when we get back to live events, the event that was due to come up this coming week was our Time is Money event. And I'm more excited than ever to bring that one, because I think there were some, the economic devastation from what has transpired is just unfathomable. But I think we probably could all learn some money awareness lessons that might have lightened that impact a little bit. And then time just has a whole new element with all of this. So I'm just really excited for what we had already planned for that event. And I know all of the collaborators, Lisa Crilly Malice, another chamber member, Dana Kelly is going to participate in that one again from Dana Kelly. Also a chamber member.
Mm-hmm.
I have a CPA who is starting a new business solely helping women and doing a lot of educational pieces for women. So we are all kind of retooling that one a little bit, just looking at things through the lens of what we just experienced with this pandemic.
And you always describe your events as what? What's your little tag?
Self-help personal development meets ladies' night out cocktail party.
There you go.
Thought about how we could do some virtual cocktail parties. I mean, I could sit with my the electric martini shaker that you gave me, and I can just, mix up the drinks, and I could put a recipe out there. Well, I'll have to think about it.
If you gather, I mean, any gathering of ladies, virtual, they'll come. We like to be together. We like to hang out for sure.
Maybe yep. You're inspiring me. Maybe what I need to do is just do the virtual happy hour and provide a few tips and things for getting through. I like that.
And if you don't follow On Purpose 86400 on Instagram or Facebook, you really should, because your content is just very inspirational and a great thing to be able to open it up in a day when you're feeling sad or unsure about something. That the content always seems to hit home for people.
Thank you.
So I think it was Lisa Malice was saying that you'll never, no, actually it was a Zoom that we had yesterday. You'll never, like, this time right now is, although horrible and devastating, it is such a gift, because in a business world, you will, if you're not essential, you will never get this time to reflect and clean house and, go through your financial books and get those organized. And if you don't have processes and things in place, you have this time now to do that. So what have you been doing with I know courts are not happening right now.
No, on the law side of things, we have still been working. The courts actually are working. They're
okay.
Just something in-person meetings. They're doing a lot of virtual things. And in the probate world, I don't have a lot of that. We're a lot more paperwork. So all of my estates and things are going. Side note into that world, this is another good time. And if anybody wants more information about this, you can email me as well. You've got to get your estate documents done. I mean, this is, again, another example of a time when, if the worst case scenario happens and you're not prepared, you're just adding such stress on your family. I also have, if people are looking for an activity, I also did up creating a family legacy instructional sheet and questions. So if anybody wants to do that. So I'm going into the office a couple days a week to open mail and whatnot. But like you said, I am really enjoying, I have not had this much stay at home and kind of downtime because I'm not meeting anybody face to face. So that has eliminated a significant amount of my daily week. So I have been spending more time doing some of my On Purpose content writing and so forth, and organizing my house. My basement is cleaned. I'm sure you let everybody know about that. And I'm working with Dana Kelly as a life coach. We sketch out things for me to work on, and I've had this flow sheet of all these organizational things, which I thought would take me like halfway through the year, but I think I only have a couple left on my list. So it has been a great time to really, pare down and think through some of those issues.
It really is. With the PPP and the things that you can apply for, I think that is the tall tale sign for businesses, and if they have their house in order, because if you're freaking out and you're like, oh my gosh, where do I get this? And I've never, where is that? I have no idea where this is. That's a sign for you, because some people, that process was a piece of cake. And some people, it was like, oh my gosh, this is a nightmare. And I think it all had to do with how organized you were with your business.
Oh, for sure. Yep.
Yeah. So once this lifts, what are you excited to get back to or get to?
Well, I would say my workshop, because I was ready to go this coming week. I did take time during this quarantine, and you can't see it in this video shot, but all of my raffle prizes are organized, my treat bags, my fun. We have like 3 fun things at this time is money. Like they're burning a hole in my pocket. I want to get going and do it. So I'm excited for that. I also am partnering with a new charity that has emerged from all of this called Freshen Up the Front Lines. A friend of mine from Lake Catholic from high school, Rob Turlin, who created the Donna's Christmas Trees charity in honor of his sister who passed away and always loved Christmas. So he, for those people who are during quarantine cleaning out their Christmas tchotchkes and decorations, if you have anything you want to donate, he collects all of those and then has events where, you know, people in a battered women's shelter or other people who don't have the ability to get a new Christmas tree but need one, they can come and select and whatnot. So anyway, he is starting a GoFundMe for the frontline workers, that when all of this is done, or at least in some modified scenario anyway, and those people that have been on the front lines need the reset and refresh that we all sort of just got, we will, this charity group will help to get them gift certificates for salons and spas and restaurants to do that. So I think I did tag a few of the chamber members in some of those original posts, but if anybody, we're not asking for donations for it. Obviously they can if they want, but just to know what restaurants and spas and salons and so forth are out there for people to buy the gift cards when the time comes to give to those folks. I was also thinking, I watched your chamber update with Deb at local box. I was thinking maybe she could put together, I'm sure I was trying to go online, but you know, maybe if there's a box for frontline workers that people could buy from her and send or donate one, and then the foundation will send it out. And then I'm working on a special workshop, maybe a little retreat style workshop that we'll host for frontline workers. So if anybody wants in any way to be included in that, just reach out to me, or if you know.
Let's do your email down here.
Okay. So email is onpurpose86400@gmail.com, or Facebook and Instagram at onpurpose86400.
Okay. I can find you and all the things that are going on there. And and have you taken up any hobbies other than cleaning your basement, things that you've done during this time?
You know how many books I have that are stacked up by my bedside in various places. I've gotten through about 3 books that I wanted to read. I enjoy cooking anyway, so I've really been enjoying just cooking. Made a lovely apple crumble last night, and just
nice.
That I would not ordinarily have time to do. We've been doing a lot more actual family dinners because just our schedule is lightened, so there's time to do that, and that's been something I want to keep going with after. You know, that's one of the things I'm trying to think through in my reflection is, yes, I'm going to have more to do when this gets lifted, but I think there's been a lot of areas where I'm either wasting time or not being as productive as I could so that I can get done what I need to get done, but still enjoy these things that I've gotten the chance to enjoy during this time.
Right, right. And if you had one thing that you'd want to say to everybody, what would it be?
I think just love your families and your friends. And I think we all need that more than anything during this time. And we realize how much we miss that connection during this time. And, the families that have squabbles or real serious rifts, you know, figure out a way to get through all that.
Yeah, it's definitely been a kick in the behind by the big guy upstairs to say, it's time to get back to what's important in life.
Right, right. I have this grandiose thought in my head that when these floodgates open, I do think there's going to be a big resurgence. I think people are going to hopefully keep a lot of these lessons in mind. And I would love to see kind of a go back to that old time. And Chagrin Falls is a great example of it. Just that sense of community and belonging where we don't run around like chickens with our head cut off all day, and we really make time and connect with people and have good family love and good community.
Yeah, sitting on the porch or calling the neighbor to see how they're doing, and I'm running to the store, what do you need type of, I know. Now that it's been presented to us in a way that it's required right now, it just makes us scratch our head saying, why and how did we ever get so backwards,
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Susan, this was lovely. Thank you so much. And folks, if you want to know anything about On Purpose 86400, please reach out. Did you want to say one last thing? I see.
Yes, I was just going to say, one last things.
Sure.
Follow up with your comment that you just said there. The other thing that I think might be nice when everybody gets back is we are also available for some in-house corporate style events, which maybe, that would be a way that employers could help foster all these lovely thoughts that have been going on all this time. So feel free to reach out for that. And then I just wanted to thank the chamber. I know I got a call the other day from someone on your staff just to check in, and what a nice perk to membership this is, being able to still get out there and get in front of people and know that somebody there cares how I'm doing and is there to offer whatever assistance that the chamber can. So thank you for that.
Oh, well, thank you. We've been doing it since 1943. A chamber has been existing for a very, very, very long. I have the date. It's 18 something, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah. So, we were born to do this, to support local businesses. And I think it's just like you say, it takes these crises to see where we can get the most help. So yeah, we're here. We're doing what we've always done. Obviously pivoted a little bit, but we're here. So thank you for that. And folks, if you are enjoying this lovely chat with Susan Richlak from On Purpose 86400, and you want to see some of our other ones, which we have many, and see how our local businesses are, how they're doing, what they're doing during this pandemic, visit cvcc.org. And there's a little virtual thing that says checking in with the chamber, and just click on that and you'll be able to see what everybody's up to. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, have a good weekend.
Have a good one. We'll see you all.
Bye.
Bye.